And if you're tired of hearing my voice by now, well, two of my favourite videotapes of all time are of a little bit earlier than when I was around as a commentator. In fact, I was doing my first Tour de France when these snatches came in the Tour of Italy. This was Stars and Water Carriers, and the other film is Sunday in Hell. It predicts the great performances of a very great cyclist, Eddy Merckx.
At the foot of Paganella, the second mountain of the day, the leading group is grown to 9 men. 5 of these are Spaniards. But now Merckx takes over the command. Goes out in front, sets the tempo up. Now, on a new climb, it looks as though Merckx will force a decision. The pedals must be pushed to the limit if you're not to be left behind. Gimondi passes Fuente and takes over his place at Merckx's rear wheel. Battaglin, Lascano, Fuente, Zilioli, Goldos, Adja, Pesaradona, Merckx churns on and on. That's his way of dealing with the climbs. He doesn't use Fuente's sudden accelerations. But he has a tough, uniform march rhythm that has the effect of slowly torturing the others. Gimondi keeps glued on to his rear wheel, but it's a murderous pace. The leading group is at breaking point. It's hard to keep up. Especially for the Spaniards, they're feeling the pinch. To increase the pace now, it's surely impossible, inhuman, for any other than Eddy Merckx. Merckx is 50 meters in front of Gimondi and Battaglin, and 100 meters in front of Fuente. Battaglin tries to take Gimondi by surprise. But it doesn't work. And Gimondi immediately rides up alongside his young rival. A little further back, Goldos and Fuente are fighting to limit their distance. Merckx continues on his own. He's playing his trump card, even though it's not really necessary.
The two Brooklyn attackers still have a slight advantage. It can't go on for long, because Merckx, as usual, has assumed the role all the others are eager to see him in, the lead position. Once in front, he heads the pursuit like a locomotive. It falls into place for de Vlaeminck. Merckx now has to ride after the breakaway, which de Vlaeminck has organised. Merckx is causing the group to string out. The new pack is about 40 strong, here where the paving stones of hell start again. Barely 2 hours of the race remain, and a more comprehensive sorting out is imminent. Soon the long column will be thinner. Another fall. The battle for a place is hard and dangerous on the sharp stones, where the speed is again fast and furious. And Poulidor is furious. He wants a wheel, and now. There's some very fast riding now. It's difficult just to keep position, to keep your rear wheel. Martens, De Meyer, Dirks, Godefroot, De Vlaminck and Merckx leading. Merckx attempts to break the others with his tremendous power. Walter Godefroot has taken the lead, and now it's his turn to force the pace so that it hurts. Godefroot, the former winner of Paris-Roubaix, seems in good form and is riding very well. With his smooth, powerful technique, he's a real expert in this terrain and is not nicknamed the Bulldog of Flanders for nothing. And suddenly it happens. 4 men have broken away. Godefroot, De Meyer, De Vlaminck and Kuiper. De Vlaminck looks back and proceeds to increase the speed even more. Notice De Meyer tucked into De Vlaminck's slipstream. He's riding for himself now. The crash by his captain Martens has released him from all obligations. The remainder of the field are a couple of 100 yards behind. 2 men have separated themselves and are midway between it and the breakaways. They're the 2 Frenchmen, Poulidor and Donguillaume, desperately trying to include themselves in this undoubtedly decisive escape. De Vlaminck makes the tactical error of riding a long sprint from the leading position. Moser attacks from above, but he doesn't box in De Meyer, who slots in between them and rides a really explosive finale. First, Mark De Meyer. Second, Moser. Third, De Vlaminck. Eddy Merckx, inscrutable as ever. Roger De Vlaminck, disappointed and furious. Mark De Meyer, the happy winner. And that was Paris-Roubaix 1976. A great race with a surprise winner. A year with a very special character, Paris-Roubaix 1976, and it will be remembered as a race of fluctuating fortunes in the dust of the Enfer du Nord. In a week or so, the same cast will be assembled, the same actors, the riders, the journalists, the officials. The rivalry will continue, but few will have forgotten that Sunday in hell.
You know, for me, Eddy Merckx has been the greatest bike rider of all time. I was privileged to grow up with him as a racing cyclist when he was an amateur, and then as he became a professional, I was rather pleased I was just a journalist, because certainly I wouldn't have been very good racing alongside him. There's also one other video we have on stock here called La Course en Tête. It's a real nice insight, and it does give a lot of footage of Eddy Merckx. Some of the dialogue, a little bit in French, but believe me, you will understand the film and you will like the pictures. Until the next time when we meet, remember this: keep cycling and don't give up. The very best to you. Goodbye.